Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are watching from. This is Jacqueline Kinoti, your transformation life coach. So today I'll be talking about 4 reasons why you feel like you're not good enough. So we go on with life, we go on with our daily normal functioning, and sometimes we accomplish things, but deep inside we feel like a failure, deep inside you feel like you're not good enough. I want to address this question because it has been asked many times by in my online community, and something that I want to explain what could make a person feel like they're not good enough. And I will be talking about 4 reasons that can make a person feel like they're not good enough. And the first reason is that if you grow up and you are held to unrealistic standard. When I talk about unrealistic standard, is something that it is beyond your capability. Or as a child, you grow up being expected to do many things that you're not capable of doing, and those people that are subjecting you to do these incapable things who are unable to do them by themselves. For example, maybe you're expecting to get a certain grade, maybe you're expecting to pursue a certain course, and no matter how good you did anything that you are trying to do, it just felt like you didn't do it right, and failure to which you didn't do it right, then you are punished, maybe you are shamed, and these things continue affecting the person even in the adulthood. Or maybe a child was expecting to take up responsibility that were not responsible for them to do that, and therefore you can understand the capability of a child at that point. They are unable to do such things, and therefore when you grow up, no matter what you do, because maybe you can't able to reach this standard that are placed on you, maybe you feel like you can't reach the standard of the society, you can't meet the familiar standard, and now you always feel, no matter what you do, you feel like a failure, you feel like you're not good enough. The next reason is that you are compared to others. When you're growing up, there are those parents or those caregivers or those authority figures that who always want maybe to shame the children, or maybe they want to compare the children so that they can shame them, or maybe they can want to make them feel bad or change behavior. But what they don't understand is that constant comparison or being exposed to unnecessary competitive environment makes someone feel insecure, makes someone feel flawed, makes someone feel they are not good enough. Because if you can compare, it is like you're not accepting them the way they are. It is like there is something that they have to be in a certain way. So maybe you're compared to your sibling. Maybe you're told you're not good enough as your brother. You're not as good in mathematics as your brother and all that. So this constant comparison, it is a way of programming. The experiences that you expose your child to are the ones that determines the kind of neural connections that are formed, which influences how the brain development happen. So the moment you constantly compare your child, then you are showing them that they are not enough. You're showing them they are not complete, and that is what will affect them even in the adulthood. Another reason that could make a person feel like they are not good enough is that you are not allowed to exercise sense of autonomy. There is a certain point, a stage of development of a child when they want to exercise control, they want to explore, they want to experiment, they want to make mistake and understand I can show up for myself. But when a child is denied this chance of exploring, of experimenting, then they don't know how. They feel that they're incomplete because they are not allowed. They feel that they are not good enough because they are not allowed to exercise this sense of autonomy. And therefore a person grows up and maybe they are met with the challenges, or they are met with situation in life that requires them to show up for themselves, requires them to undergo what they were not allowed to do. And therefore, because they didn't know how, because they were not allowed this chance, then they start feeling like they are not good at task, they are not good enough to accomplish something. Yeah. So it's very important to understand how you feel when the feeling of good enough comes in to you. How do you feel? When did this feeling start? Does this feeling of being not good enough start? Whose voice is that tells you that you're not good enough? Those are the things that you need to have some moment of silence and understand. When it comes, when you feel this way, you'll tend to have that moment and evaluate what is going on in your life. Another reason that you might be feeling like you're not good enough is that you are treated like a subhuman. When I talk about being treated like a subhuman, I'm talking about where a child is exposed to abuse, is exposed to neglect, rejection, like your voice doesn't matter, like your voice, your existence is invalidated. It is where people say that a child is to be seen and not to be heard. But what people make mistake and fail to understand is that each and every person, no matter if you are an adult, if you are a child, everyone longs to be loved, to be seen, and to be heard. And so it's very important to understand that this child has to be, if you want a child to grow, to have emotional maturity, then you have to provide loving, caring, nurturing, and nourishing experiences to this child. And so this child who has been treated like they are not worthy, you have shamed them because maybe of the way they have dressed, maybe the way they look, you shame them, you humiliate them, and those things that impact the psyche, those experiences that impact the psyche of a child, that is what affect the child and feel like, if I am in a certain way, then these people could have accepted me, and maybe the way I am is why people are treating me in this manner. And in this case, when I say a person has been treated like a subhuman, maybe it is where the child is expected to meet the parental needs. You know, there are those parents who want to live through their children. They want, like, they'll come and tell you it is because of you that I'm suffering in this marriage. They'll tell you, maybe the parents won't be so angry and tell you it is because I gave birth to you that I'm passing through this pain, and all kind of those things. And most of people who know that their children, I should say, they are people who have unresolved traumas, and therefore you have to understand, even before you become a parent, you have to address your unresolved issues, because when you are not resolving your pain, when you are hurt, you will always hurt other people. When you have pain, you will always project this pain to other people, unless you're able to seek professional help and deal with this unprocessed pain. I usually say that no matter how, no matter the time that you keep on avoiding this, processing this emotion, processing this pain, there is a time you can't contain it anymore. There is a time that it will be overwhelming, it will be overflowing, and it can trigger many things. So it is important, when you realize these things are happening in your life, it is important that you seek help so that you can be guided on how you can solve that. Thank you.